Be on the beat.
Hello again and welcome to your favorite show, The Discussion. As usual, I'm your host, Chelsea Kunji. Thank you for joining us on the GBKM network. If you haven't yet, please download our app. You can search GBKM on iOS or Android, or you can also check out our website, www.gbkm.tv, where you can catch our live shows just like this one. You can turn on your notifications. You can look at the past shows as well. We are equally on YouTube. Just search GBKM Network and you'll be able to catch our shows, interact with us, and you know how we do on this show already. We love the discussion. So join the discussion, like, comment, share. We want to hear your opinions. We want to know what you think about the topics that we're discussing, and come on the ride with us. All right, so today's topic, are you ready for what today's topic is? First of all, you guys should say hi to Kelly. She has been a member of this show for the past 2 shows now, and we're doing just fine. You guys voted to have Kelly on the show and to call her, to make her female. So welcome again. Now, today's topic, like I was saying, very, very interesting. If you have kept up on social media for the past week or so, you're going to realize that today's topic is a hot topic. It is the discussion on blue therapy. That's blue therapy on YouTube. We're going to be dissecting what was said, what was not said, what happened, and what was implied. Stay tuned. Before we get into that, I just want to quickly give you a rundown on what my week was. You know how we do on this show, we catch up. And I don't want to leave you guys out of the loop. So this past week has actually been okay, you know, regular work, home. We're excited to be in the month of May, which is something amazing. We're getting closer again, like I said, to summer. And here in Canada, especially in Toronto, things have been changing in terms of the availability of the vaccines and how we can get some. Initially, it was 40 and above. That's for the age range as of last week and 2 weeks ago, for who can go to the clinic and get your vaccination. But at the beginning of this week, to be precise, on Tuesday, it was dropped down, the age range was dropped down to 18 and above for who can go and get the vaccine. So you know what I did? I actually went and got my vaccine. And I want to just bring you guys along with me. I didn't forget you. We're going to go on this journey together. There is a video of how this happened. Just stay tuned. It's coming up. Watch this and we'll talk later. Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing my vaccination. I'm here at the Downsview Arena. So I'm going to be documenting the process for you to be able to see what the process is like. I came prepared. I'm wearing a t-shirt as I was told, so you don't have to raise up your sleeve too much. Let's go inside and see what it's all about.
Ask you a couple questions too, okay?
Okay. So I just got checked in with my health card, and I'm sitting down waiting now. They give you a green sticker, and once it's your turn, they'll come around and give you the vaccine. So I'm just waiting here with the green sticker. There are a bunch of people here as well waiting. Right after when you're done getting your vaccine, you have to stay here for another 15 minutes for them to make sure that
there's nothing wrong with you, of course. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to have to sit here for another 15 minutes. I just received my dose of the vaccine. You saw the process. It was not difficult at all. It's a mobile vaccine. It'll come around to you. You have to have your health card. And I'm going to wait right now for 15 minutes. I received it on my left arm because I'm right-handed, right? And then we'll be able to book the next appointment once we're done. So right now I'm just gonna wait. So I just got my slip with the appointment for the next vaccine. That's going to be in August because it has to be about 16 weeks after you get your vaccine. Just for clarification, the one I got is the Pfizer vaccine, and yeah, I'm still waiting right now as an update, waiting for 15 minutes, and once that's up, then I'll be able to go.
Okay, and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. It was basically just recording the process of me going to go and get my vaccine. Now, for me to explain a little bit more about what was not explained in the video, I went to the Downsview Arena to be able to get my vaccine. That is where I got the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine. It was given to me on my left arm, considering that I'm right-handed. And just a few things that I feel like people should know in case they want to go and get theirs and just to be prepared. Now, I did have breakfast before going, only because it's taking an injection. It wasn't prescribed by anyone or recommended, but I decided to do it myself so I don't feel dizzy or anything afterwards. So if that's something you're thinking of, I suggest that you should as well, right? And then you would have to roll up your sleeve to be able to get the shot. So it doesn't make sense for you to wear something long sleeve or something that you would have to take off entirely. So that's one key point to also note. Another thing that I noted, so this particular vaccination pop-up area was it opened at 9 a.m. So it's Monday, May 6th to May 9th. So that means as of today, it still happened. Tomorrow, you're still going to be able to go ahead and get your vaccination from here for age group 18 plus. And it starts officially at 9 a.m. Now, 9 a.m. is what I was told. I got there considerably, like 2 minutes after 9. There was no line outside. And I was like, oh, this is great. But the arena on the inside was full. And there was a line on the inside, which I was lining up even inside. There were almost 100 people inside. I was so shocked. I had to actually call one of the nurses and ask, didn't you say 9 a.m.? Like, I'm here. It's just a few minutes past 9. What's happening? People came in earlier. So if you go earlier than the than the time that you're supposed to go, you'd actually be let in. I advise that because if you have things to do for the rest of the day, I would advise that you just go as early as possible. You will be let in, but the vaccination will not be administered until 9 a.m. So we got in, I got in, I lined up for a little bit. It was about, let's say, 5 minutes inside I was told I wasn't allowed to record, so you have to get permission for that. But once you get in, the line moves up pretty quickly, and the line forms pretty quickly as well. I advise you to go early enough. If you're not going early enough, give it more than 2 hours, because it's a bit time consuming. So once I got inside, I was, they asked for my information, which they checked, my health card, my ID, to check my postal code, and just to make sure that and my age as well, because you have to be 18 and above. I got in, I was checked. You get a stay thorough, so nobody can just walk in there and claim something else. So you're in safe hands, as safe as it can be. They made the procedure feel easy. They made me feel very comfortable. When it was my turn, like you saw in the video, I sat down and waited a little bit. One person came and took my information, verified it, because what happens is they're going to have to email you all that you did. They're going to make sure that they have the right details to contact you when your dose has been given and when to schedule the next one. Once the nurse came around, she asked me, if I had any symptoms, if I was experiencing anything, if you had allergies to other drugs. It will be wise for you to say that and for you to let them know. If this is something that you are having symptoms already of, dizziness or fever or anything closely related to COVID, I would advise you do not go to take this. This is another key point that I found out that most people don't know. You don't take it if you have COVID. You have to wait to be better before you can go ahead and take the vaccine. Another thing is you're not fully immunized until the vaccine has been administered twice, until you've gotten your 2 doses. This does not immunize you completely against the disease. You still have to wear your mask afterwards. You still have to take precautions. This just gives you a percentage at which you will not be high risk, more or less. So when I got in there and sat down, after questions and making sure that I wasn't allergic to anything, the nurse gently came around. They'll give you the option for what arm you want, which is very considerate in my opinion, because if you're predominantly left-handed or right-handed, they don't want a situation where you would not be able to carry out your daily activities, which was thought. 15 minutes seated, so they can monitor you and just make sure that there aren't any allergic reactions or any other reactions to the vaccine itself. I sat down there. I was waiting for 15 minutes after. I didn't really feel anything. Let me just be honest. It wasn't, the needle is so tiny. For those of you that are scared of needles, I promise you, you have nothing to worry about. And I got the Pfizer vaccine, in case if I haven't mentioned that yet. It goes in really fast. As in, so fast, I was like, has she done it already? It was done. And they put the so short. So it's not something you need to be scared about. After 15 minutes was up, I stood up, went through another procedure of questioning just to make sure that you're okay. So in total, I spent about 2 hours at this location. But you don't need to spend up to 2 hours. If you come there early enough, you can get it done in less than an hour, or in an hour and a half maximum, just because of the waiting time. Once I was done with the waiting and it was time to leave, there are actually options for you to, take pictures, put it on your social media if you want. They give you a chocolate afterwards because you have completed your vaccination and you need to eat or you need to be hydrated to be able to get something. And that's all well and good. I was feeling very good. I got it done in time. I was able to go home and get along with my day. Now, the question that most of you probably have on your mind is, what happened after? I had somebody ask me are you seeing stars yet? Are you seeing spirits? What is happening? How do you feel? For about 6 to 8 hours after, my hand was numb. When I say numb, it felt like it was heavy, like something was there, like there was a weight on it. So you don't feel the pain per se when you're being given the injection. That's not it. But afterwards, you feel that you have done something. I had to carry, and I'm a handbag person, I had to carry my handbag on the other side to make sure. I even had to remove my bracelet and put it on the other side just because the arm just felt so heavy. But if you Google like taking vaccinations and the history of all of this, you will be able to see that this is normal. It's normal that your body has received something and reacted the way it did. I woke up the next day, I was fine. And I did this 2 days ago. So as of right now, I'm telling you 2 days after, and I don't have any symptoms, any pain, any discomfort. It's all gone. So being realistic, for the first day, yes, you will feel some discomfort because it's something that was injected into your body. But everyone is different. If you are skeptical, like again, like I said, if you are high risk, if you have more things that you are probably allergic to, speak to your medical practitioner, speak to your doctor first, consult with them before you go ahead and make this decision. Once you go through this process, the vaccination clinic I went to in Downsview Arena is open. It's still open today as we speak from 9 a.m. until the vaccines run out. It's open tomorrow as well from 9 a.m. until the vaccines run out. If you're 18 plus and you are residing or working in any of the area codes that was shown on the screen, please go in there and get your vaccination. You don't need an appointment. It's a pop-up. You really don't, even if you don't have all the right documents, as long as you have proof that you're able to get your vaccine and book for the next one. Brings me to my last point right now, which is when the second dose will be. Now, the second dose for Canada right now is being issued 16 weeks after the first dose has been taken. So for me, since my first dose was just a couple of days ago, my second dose is going to be in August. And it's towards the middle of August. That only then would you be fully vaccinated, and then we'll be able to move forward and see what it's like. But I can assure you that this is helping to lessen the restriction. I believe that Ontario restrictions and laws will start to ease up a little bit. We'll be able to go out, interact, yet everyone is still wearing their mask. Mind you, you're still keeping 6 feet apart because you have to be fully vaccinated to be able to see an important difference. But at the moment, it's helping ease things up, and we're hopeful, fingers crossed, that we're going to have a summer this year. So let's look forward to that. So that is my experience with the vaccination process and how I prepared, what the process was like, and afterwards. We're going to take a quick short break right now. Once we come back, we're going to be touching on our hot topic, blue therapy. Stay tuned. I just want to make sure that you're excited about what's coming next. You have to be excited about our next topic. If you haven't caught up on it yet, just search what it is, look for it. But it's coming, I can assure you. And I'm going to give you my unfiltered and undiluted thoughts about it.
This is not your regular show. It is an interactive section powered by the masses.
You go Nigeria, you wake up.
Health, current affairs, governance, and so much more. Slices of humor to keep you entertained and thrilled. We are the GPKM Street Talk Team. This is not your regular show. It is.
Welcome back to the show. So the first part of the show, I was just giving you all of my details about my vaccination process and how it went, what to expect. Now, let's get into it, my people. If you suggest that you would have come across Trend Central's blue therapy. Now, I want to talk about this because it has raised so many eyebrows. First of all, let me give you a background for those who don't know what this is about. So this couple that you're seeing on the screen, his name is Jamal and her name is Deborah. It's about two couples in particular, actually, not just them. They decided to go to a renowned therapist to be able to work on their relationship issues and the therapist is well known. She has a track record. So they decided to do a social experiment where two sets of couples, so this is Jamal and Deborah, and the second couple is Chioma and Paul. We all know Chioma from BK Chat. If you watch BK Chat in 2019, and it's still going on right now, but with the original cast, she decided to go with Paul for therapy. An idea that Paul expressed multiple times that he was not open to. So now we're going to get into it, and my people, we're going to discuss, because some things happened and I'm not okay with it. Let's talk about Chioma and Paul first. Chioma is, in my opinion, everybody knows she's an attractive woman. She's hardworking. She already had a social media presence before Paul came along. According to her, according to the video, Paul met Chioma on Instagram. So she was starting. They started, you know how dating goes. You get to know each other, you start dating. That's good. When Chioma met Paul, Paul was a hustler. He still is, in a sense, hardworking, juggling jobs, making ends meet. Us women, let's be honest, that's what we're attracted to. Nobody wants a man that is going to be lazy, that is not going to be able to pull his weight or put bread and butter on the table. Now, it's often said that what attracts you to somebody can also be what, repels you from the person sometimes. It's one thing for you to start receiving the other end of it. So let me put more context into what I'm saying. Chioma is basically complaining that she doesn't get enough love and affection from Paul, because Paul has dedicated his entire time and energy and effort into his work. More context, what Paul does is he's a fitness and nutrition specialist. He works with high-end influencers and highly influential people. A point he made sure that we knew over and over again. Chioma does other businesses as well as being a social media influencer. Now, Paul, they just moved in about 6 months ago. They lived together. That's when things started to stir up the pot, basically. She complains that he goes out, he spends money, he is basically taking the phrase, fake it till you make it to a different level. But he's saying, you met me this way. These are the things you liked about me. Now you are on the other end of it. I haven't changed, but you have a problem with it. She's saying you don't have time for me. You see this relationship as a business relationship, as a brand, more so than what it is supposed to be. Now, from my bias as a woman, we all know that women need love. Women need attention. You cannot just put a woman in the house and say, I've gotten her, that's it. We don't want that. On the other hand, Chioma did know what she was getting into. She knew that this was the kind of guy. Mind you, when the therapist asked how long they've been having these issues for, because they've been dating 2 years prior to moving in, she said they've only been having these issues for about 6 months since they moved in together. That goes to show that cohabiting with somebody is a whole different ball game from just dating the person where you see them once in a while, maybe once in a week or two, or depending on what your people's schedules are. But you go home to your own natural habitat and behave how you behave because you're on your own. Clean, feed him, all the traditional expectations of a woman, basically. While he goes out and he comes back a little later. Now, the reason why I have a problem with this, the feminist in me has a problem with this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't cater to your man, you should not love him, you should not do all you can, but I'm saying there should be a balance. There should be some sort of equality. There should be an understanding. I wouldn't want to go into this situation with somebody that expects this of me. Because along the line, part of their discussion, he got into a point where he basically said, what is wrong with being a housewife? And she said, there's nothing wrong with being a housewife. That's not how you met me. You did not meet me as a housewife. So why do you now want to make me into a housewife to suit your needs? Brings me to my second point. Most women nowadays, I'm seeing a lot of women empowerment. Women are taking over, doing things, taking over space, being vocal, and being financially dependent. I'm also noticing that it's not every man that can handle a strong, independent woman, let alone a woman that is out there in the media industry. These things have a lot to play in the dynamics of a relationship. I think they are very important. Paul says that the things that they do together as a couple is that they review the relationship every 28 days. Guys, company review happens almost every month. That's a very similar thing to what Paul is saying. We review the relationship every 28 days. Sir, this is not a business. This is not a portfolio you're building. He always refers to the relationship as a brand. I just want to say that, in my opinion, I don't think that is right. I'm not putting too much blame on anyone. I'm putting blame on Paul. Let's scratch that. Chioma also has some blame because she has tolerated this. She knows the sis. Just find somebody else, because this man is so set in his ways. I don't know what to tell you. Moving on to the second couple. In this case, we have Deborah and Jamal. Now, Jamal is a 27-year-old man, from what we gathered from therapy, who is in the midst of finding his feet and trying to lay foundation for his like life. Basically, he's trying to buy a house. He's trying to save. He has some flaws that she mentioned, but we'll just keep that aside. She mentioned that he doesn't make too much time for her. He's always late, which he came to the therapy late as well, to be honest. I was like, he was the one that tried to talk her into it. Then she came early, cameras were rolling, and he still hadn't come. He came like 5 minutes later. I was like, okay, I can see how you have a problem with that, but it's not such a big deal, but to each his own. It was a big deal to her. Communication is a big deal to her. She said they talk once every 2 weeks. If I have a man that I'm in love with, I don't think I want to speak to him once every 2 weeks. You might as well be a distant acquaintance, but again, that's their situation. The major thing that stood out in this situation is that Deborah is of the opinion that Jamal should be a provider, in the sense that she likes luxury things. Deborah, for context, is 24, and this is her first relationship as well. She's just coming out of, in her words, her dad had always sponsored her lifestyle. She likes luxury things. She likes Gucci bags. She likes designer things. And Jamal should be able to provide for her in that way, regardless of what's going on with him. Jamal should be a provider. Now, 2 things with this. I don't think she's necessarily wrong for demanding what she wants. I mean, it's what she wants, right? Everybody has a right to what they want. Where I see the problem is, I think Deborah is looking for someone that is more established than Jamal. So somebody that can provide the lifestyle that she wants without, it being an issue for her. Or Jamal, in the other case, somebody that is more willing to understand that you're going through your foundation laying stage. Understand that this is your birds, wants to go to Hakkasan she wants to go and have lunch in Paris and have dinner in New York. This man wants a woman that is going to hold it down and somebody that is going to understand that he's laying foundation for the future. In my opinion, Chioma should switch and date Jamal. Deborah should switch and date Paul, Chioma's boyfriend. Because Paul is all about being a provider. Deborah is all about finances. She's talking about planning. She's talking about building a future. Jamal is saving for a future, about to buy a house, wants to buy a house, wants to lay foundation. In my opinion, these 2 people fit, and they fit perfectly. So this is just my opinion of what Blue Therapy was all about. It's interesting to see people's dynamics, especially in relationships, especially people's views, what comes into play when you're in certain situations. And in fact, this show comes out every Thursday. There are 2 episodes, so we're going to see the outcome of what is happening. Of course, there's also the talk about if this is real or if this is staged. To me, it seems pretty real. I may be naive, but it seems pretty real. It's a ballsy move to come and put your relationship on blast in therapy on TV, like on a platform for people to be able to see and judge and everyone to have an opinion. You have to be strong-minded and very secure in your relationship to be able to take people's criticisms. But we'll see what's going to happen next week. Stay tuned. I will be here to update you. So with that being said, we've come to the end of our show. This is the conclusion. Once again, I'd like to say thank you for tuning into the discussion. I'm your host, Chelsea Okonji. Thank you for joining us on the GBKM network. You can also search our app. Please download this app. Search GBKM on iOS or on Android. Or you can also search our website, www.gbkm.tv, where you can catch our latest updates and
Active section. Powered by the masses.
You go for Nigeria, you wake up, you go come. I just said now, I don't go Nigeria.
Where we discuss issues that cut across politics, security, health, current affairs, governance, and so much more. Slices of humor to keep you entertained and thrilled. We are the GBKM Street Talk Team. This is not your regular show. It is an interactive section powered by the masses.
You go for Nigeria, you wake up, you go come. I just said now, I don't go Nigeria.
Where we discuss issues, slices